Conor McGregor lost his boxing match to Floyd Mayweather by TKO in the 10th round. He will most likely return to the UFC, where there are many potential opponents for him to make a comeback. So here is 6 potential matchups for Conor McGregor after Floyd Mayweather. Number 6. Kevin Lee is the number 7th ranked lightweight in the UFC, who has been making a lot of noise in the 155-pound division. He last defeated Michael Chiesa by technical submission via rear naked choke in the first round at UFC Final 112. He's just 24 years old and has compiled a UFC record of 9 wins and 2 losses, where he looks better and better each time he steps inside the octagon. He is currently scheduled to face Tony Ferguson for the interim UFC lightweight title at UFC 216. If he is able to defeat Tony Ferguson, a title unification bout with Conor McGregor is the only fight that would make sense. This is an interesting matchup, and hopefully we are able to see in the future. Number 5. Tony Ferguson is the number 2 ranked lightweight in the UFC, who has just about cleared out the lightweight division. He last defeated Rafael dos Anjos by a unanimous decision at UFC Final 98. He has defeated all of the competition that has been presented to him and is by far the clear number 1 contender in the weight class. He is currently scheduled to face Kevin Lee for the interim UFC lightweight title at UFC 216. If he is able to defeat Kevin Lee, this will set up a massive title unification bout with Conor McGregor. Tony Ferguson is a very tricky fighter who has so many tools which can give Conor McGregor trouble. This is a very interesting fight, and hopefully we are able to see in the future. Number 4. Tyron Woodley is the current UFC welterweight champion who has looked like a dominant force in the 170-pound division. He last defeated Damian Maia by a unanimous decision at UFC 214. Tyron Woodley has defended his title 3 consecutive times, where it is very difficult to see anyone dethroning him. A great comeback fight for both fighters would be to face each other in a super fight. I believe this fight would be huge, as both fighters were involved in numerous altercations leading up to UFC 205, which gained massive amounts of attention. This fight will give the welterweight division time to come up with the clear number 1 contender, and it will also give Conor McGregor the opportunity to earn a 3rd title. This is a very intriguing matchup, and hopefully we are able to see in the future. Number 3. Khabib Nurmagomedov is the number 1 ranked lightweight in the UFC, who has demolished fighters with his overwhelming grappling skills, where he has dominated all of the opponents he has faced so far. He last defeated Michael Johnson by submission via a Kimura lock in the 3rd round at UFC 205. Khabib Nurmagomedov was involved with many altercations with Conor McGregor at UFC 205, where a possible fight between both fighters sparked interest with the fans, but Khabib Nurmagomedov's health issues have prevented him to compete this year. However, Conor McGregor has shown interest in fighting Khabib in the UFC's debut in Russia, with Khabib Nurmagomedov saying that he will be ready to fight before the end of the year. This is a great fight between 2 different fighting styles, and hopefully we are able to see it in the future. Number 2. Max Holloway is the current UFC featherweight champion who has looked like a dominant force, where he has just about cleared the 145-pound division. He last defeated Jose Aldo by TKO in the 3rd round at UFC 212 to become the new UFC featherweight champion of the world. His last loss was to Conor McGregor at UFC Final 26, where he lost the fight by a unanimous decision. Conor McGregor would later go on and defeat then UFC featherweight champion Jose Aldo to become the champion, where he would later be stripped of his world title. Both fighters have evolved so much since their last fought, and it will be interesting to see how this rematch would play out if they ever fought each other again. Number 1. Nate Diaz is the number 6th ranked lightweight in the UFC and has been the only fighter to really test Conor McGregor in the UFC. He forced him to tap by a rear naked choke at UFC 196 and absolutely pushed him to the limit at UFC 202, where he would lose the fight by a majority decision. Both fighters broke UFC records, where it made UFC 202 the biggest pay-per-view of all time. A great comeback fight for Conor McGregor would be a trilogy fight with Nate Diaz, with both fighters holding a win over one another. The 3rd fight needs to happen, as the 2nd fight showed no clear indication of who the better fighter was. The 3rd fight will finish that argument once and for all.